Ba-da-boo-ba-doo, hey. Let's see here. Oh, Pokemon Pacifist. That's fun. No, not right now. Ah! No. No. Definitely not. What? Hey, what is doing this? Is it bees? Are there bees? Stop it! Stop it! This is Pokemon. Travel across the land, search far and wide to catch them all, to trade them, and battle with them, trying to knock the opponent's HP to 0. We're all pretty familiar with the genre. Each generation of Pokemon has always had a sprawling world to explore and find each unique creature. This requires hours of travel by foot in open fields, caves, and even evil Empire headquarters. But travel takes a lot out of a person, and Pokemon are no different. In this ROM hack, taking a single step depletes your Pokemon's HP by 1 for each step. Ooh, I am so looking forward to this one. Yes, my eternal rival, burgers. Shrink on into our bedroom and things are looking alright. Grab the potion out of the PC as this is effectively our passport. Without it, we won't be able to leave town. Seriously. Hi mom, bye mom, don't look under my mattress, you were warm. Feel that morning air. It has a smell about it. New adventure. Freedom. See, I want to stress something about this moment in time. Once this challenge begins, once you have made the decision to cross over this threshold, there is no going back. The point of no return. Now at this time, we need to start planning on how we even dream of making progress. If we're going to have to lose 1 HP a step, our top priority of course will be healing. Potions are great, but we won't be able to purchase any in the immediate future. Our starter will have so little HP that we won't be able to walk the entirety of Route 1. I mean, look at this route. Has Route 1 ever been this intimidating in the history of Pokemon? Doubt! This means our hand is forced and we will be collecting a Bulbasaur for Leech Seed. At level 7, this guy will learn this monster of a move. Immediately after attempting to leave, we of course have our rival fight. Burgers needs to go down here. Without gaining the entire level off of this one battle, our soon-to-be grinding session will be a nightmare. Now, the problem with this next piece is that we won't be able to leave town yet. Upon reaching the edge of Palais, we have our very first whiteout of the run. I panicked and lost $48 in the grass amount, but that's okay. No big deal at all. Mom finds us on the edge of town and brings us back for cookies. Classic mom move. Too bad from here on things begin to get a tad more serious. Big plays need to be made, so we will definitely abuse the ability to save and reset. See, by starting from Mother here, we will be able to get out of Pallet, but we'll be seriously injured, of course. Remember that lone potion hanging out in our PC? We can now encounter wild Pokemon, and this is huge! But the new dilemma is that in order to find wild Mon, you have to be walking around in caves and tall grass. Unless we can attract wild Pokemon with the power of dance. This is massive for us, as it allows us to find a variety of Rattata and Pidgey. Since we are in such a perilous situation, we will need to find not just specific Pokemon, but also a certain level of these Pokemon. Rattatas spawn here at level 2. We want this guy first. Avoiding Pidgeys is helpful since they only know Tackle, while Rattata can do a Tail Whip and save us a bit of HP. If we are lucky, a crit makes battles against these less stressful and we can get up to level 7. Oh yeah, buddy! Now we get to have the most fun with grinding. With Leech Seed in hand, we can generate the tiniest amount of health. And this is crucial, as we will need to grind up to enough HP that once we white out in the inevitable future, we can at least return to our first patch of grass. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, this part is rough. Dancing around in this one square took hours, as the experience you receive is the worst. A level 2 rat gives off 16 experience. Eventually, of course, you can start battling a little harder by fighting until fainted, run back to mom, run back to grass, do a little dance, do a quick move, get down tonight. It's really that easy. After countless rats and burbs being taken out of commission, we can finally interact with someone from the outside world. Impressed by my determination, this guy hands me a potion. Incredible value and progress. It's happening! Well, I mean, we're still moving forward, just at a snail's pace. With a whopping 35 HP, things look great-ish. We still need to rely on finding weak rats to steal HP for steps, though. See, Leech Seed here saps health from the enemy Pokemon. The amount healed is based on the opponent's max HP. This means that we heal for such a small amount that we will need to roll for RNG to help us against Rattata. Ideally, we Leech Seed and the rats play nice by using many Tail Whips. And if they don't, we reset and continue the quest for optimal HP. This part took a while, so I'll just fast forward here. Now, I'm sure someone is wondering why not use our second potion to get into Viridian City. This would allow us to make it to the center, and thus, upon a whiteout, we're brought back here. This is correct, but we have to consider Oak's parcel. We still need to carry this back to Pallet Town, and that's where I want to use my potion. By collecting enough HP to make the last stretch into Viridian, I'll stop in the center for healing and grab Oak's parcel. The trek back is just as lengthy and tedious, so I'll skip ahead on the Leech Seed sap party. I had actually completed this challenge on stream, and this one section took the entirety of the afternoon. In order to make it back to Oak's lab from Viridian's Poké Center, including the steps to do some grass dancing, took 83 steps. This required the use of all 10 Leech Seed PP, my 40 Growl PP, and a whole lot of luck. But by making it into Pallet Town, our potion will do the rest of the walking for us. And whatever you do, do not visit Mom. I know she's gonna call around the holidays and guilt trip you. Don't do it. She will give you a place to rest, and this is bad. By resting here, the respawn point will be reset, and this will cause other issues. Make it back to Oak, drop his package, and like the tired warrior we are, pass out on his floor. Only to warp us back to Viridian! Ha ha ha! Yeah! Making big brain plays! Wait a minute. Didn't Nurse Joy give me some advice? Hang on. Pick up some potions does sound like the best choice. After all, $300 for 20 steps? Pricey at first, but will pay off once we can stockpile some healables. Probably just dump all my cash into potions, really. Good day, shopkeep. I shall take 8 of your finest. Potions?
Bruh.
Did they not stock potions in Viridian City? It's been so long since I've even really played, I don't remember. Whatever, it's fine. I'll just have to get some in Pewter City. But first, I'll have to bug out in the forest. Wishful thinking that we could just walk our way up into the forest. We can't make it far under Route 22, and it's especially worse trying to make it all the way through Route 2. It appears as though we are back to dancing in the grass. While streaming this challenge, I was excited to have Hope evolve to bolster his HP level, but ultimately regretted doing this as stats will increase with evolution, but moves learned are done at higher levels. Dancing in the grass, got grass stains on my ass. Dancing around attracted enough Mon to finally hit level 16, where it's time to make a big decision. It is because of this I wanted to hold off on evolving Hope for Synthesis, a move that will heal the user depending on the weather. Any health is good health, so I chose to focus on this move. Bulbasaur learns Synthesis at 39, Ivy learns it at 47, and Venusaur at 53. It may be worth the effort. After hours more of grinding, Hope finally has enough HP to start walking and make it outside of town. This challenge ain't shit! With a massive pool of, count it, 62 HP, we can collect this beauty of an item, only to immediately white out again. Oh yeah, Joy? Oh, you think I should grab some potions? Oh, I wish I'd thought of that myself. Okay, alright, yeah. Alright, so with all this HP, we can finally make it over to Route 22. We just gotta collect some HP now. And I think I know the perfect candidate. Mankey here has 2 moves, Scratch and Leer. Ideally, we'll have our opponent Leer over and over and over again, while we gain so much health. But that's okay. Bulby really just needs a little bit of health for Burgers too. Burgers leads with a level 9 Pidgey, which is no real threat with our big beefy defenses. Leech Seed the Pidge while it continues to Sand Attack. Like I care. I'll restore enough health to survive. Ah! He's level 25! You didn't burn with your bullshit-ass critical hit somehow doing 9 damage? Ass! You mean to tell me that after hours of training, hundreds of rat-tattas and pidgeys, and somehow this one burb here is the bringer of death, the harbinger of doom? I need a minute. So, something to quickly address. When taking on such a challenge, I had originally tried to gain some quick health by allowing the bulbed one to evolve. This was initially helpful and quite easy, especially since Ivy grows into Venus 4 levels earlier than his counterparts. This certainly was useful for the Burgers duel, as well as granting the steps needed to pick up this rogue potion over here. I can neither confirm nor deny that this was also easier than trying to grind levels up until synthesis gets learned. And that's always a draw, like moth to flame. At this stage of the game, it's safe to say that I know better now. I'm older, and thus the tiniest bit more wise, and because of that, it is time for another elegant dance of grass. After defeating 1,234.56 rats and burbs, yes I counted, and only far too many hours into the run, we can finally play the game. I'm ecstatic! Yes. Oh, so sweet progress. Begin navigating the woods carefully since with synthesis, while a godsend of a move for the run, we do still need to tread with caution. Cynthia here only has a max 5 PP, so proper PP management is critical. Navigate to the southeast for potion number 4 and continue north. I opted to avoid the bug catchers because at this point, the experience given is minuscule and the cash isn't worth going off path. But I have taken the time to do a recreation of what the match between level 39 Hope and each trainer dispersed among these boggy trees may look like. Potion number 5, why yes please. $1 for 2, don't mind if I do. Oi, what's up guy? Sorry, Sammy, my man. Did you not see my dramatic recreation? Later, dork. Collect some HP before leaving and we are golden. Route 2, baby! Heal up and the absolute first order of business, potions! I need a fat stack, please. Every spray bottle you got, because Mount Moon is coming up and I really... What? It was at this time my worst fear had come to be. The dev removed potions from shops. Step into gym music, walk up to the first trainer, light years, dialogue, destroy trainer, walk to Brock, destroy Brock, step back outside, montage. That was all done in real time, by the way. I did not edit that. Ooh yeah, Route 3! Littered with many trainers along the path, and I could not give the slightest shit. After hours of grinding out for synthesis, I suppose there is an upside to all of this until I set foot into this patch of grass. Here is a magical place where a very special Pokemon will spawn. Jigglypuff is quite a useful mon, with the ability to learn Rest at level 29 and Wigglytuff having a base HP stat of a monstrous 140. This is going to be our second in command for this adventure. All that's required is a little bit of grinding. And we all know what that means. Oh, close. Dancing in the cave, have you met my friend Dave? At least it's not just bugs anymore. With Jigglypuff learning Rollout, Zubats in Mount Moon become trivial until we can finally continue. The first area of Mount Moon contains 3 ladders. The first 2 are a dead end with loot at the end of both, while the third is progress. Collect the 7th available potion in the challenge, and especially this rare candy. This is a beautiful item, as the Pokemon given the rare candy levels up by 1 immediately. When leveled up, a Pokemon adds however much HP to their maximum HP stat, as well as restore that same amount, making this valuable resource in a pinch. This pseudo-revive can only be used outside of battle, but I'm still stoked about having one regardless of these limitations. Slip past the Rocketeer and grab another valued item, the Ether. Restores 10 PP to a move, and that means many more steps for us. Collecting 1 Moonstone and immediately bash Jiggly over the head with it until it changes shape and now we have even more HP. At this fork, head north to pick up Rare Candy's older brother, Proper Revive, before taking out a pesky rocket grunt. Steamed hams. Another rocket dork in the way. Donk donk. No, Matt. Oh, yeah, what are you gonna do about it? You run back to the center? I'll be long gone, buddy. Shut up. Get out of here. Defeat the scientist, tilt the internet by taking the clearly superior fossil, and enter Cerulean City. I have to know. Yeah, that sounds about right, yeah. With 2 Pokemon at a combined level of 69, it's time to make sure Burgers knows how much struggling we've actually been up to. Without batting an eye, we can move north onto Nugget Bridge. With 5 trainers standing in my way, there's a lot of opportunity for easy HP and some cash. Before heading for Bills, I want to dance over here by the water. Oddish can spawn here and they know Absorb. A weak move, but a life-stealing move is useful. At higher levels, Oddish will learn Moonlight, a purely restorative move, much like Synthesis and Recover. But also, after defeating Erica, we're granted TM19 for Giga Drain, a drastic upgrade from Absorb. All this and Vileplume being a personal favorite make this a slam dunk for party member number 3. Visit and fix Bill, which I always wondered if Bill had changed himself into a Pokemon in the 5 minutes it's been since Gary left, or Gary arrives, sees a Pokemon go, "Howdy, I'm Bill," and he just shrugs like this is a totally legitimate thing that can just be. And then not even help the guy. Like Gary's an ass. He's arrogant, he's cocky, but is he this big of a fucking asshole? Please excuse my Bill rant. Collect the SSN ticket from a recently rehumanized Billiam, only to pass out halfway back. That's fine, it's only $460 wasted. Back in town, it's time to visit Misty and demonstrate the raw, ferocious power that can only be obtained by killing hundreds of rats and bats. A clutch crit allows me to wipe the sweat from my brow before claiming the Cascade badge. Continue forward by eliminating the rocket hanging out in someone's backyard? It seems like the homeowner would have noticed something like that by now. Make sure to heal up against this rocket as well. It's a long walk, and this is the best opportunity to heal before trying to make it to the next patch of grass. Heal up just before the last jump to the daycare, and head underground. You gotta keep an eye on that health as there are no trainers or wild Pokemon to collect any HP. Heal in the grass on the other side and dispose of the few mandatory trainers before we're in Vermilion City. After resting up, dance about just outside of Vermilion so this little guy can learn Moonlight before hopping aboard the SSN. The first area of the cruise liner happens to have a cabin designated for us so we can rest up plenty when needed. Sassy Ship Ann here has a short list of items to collect, but I only care about some of them, and conveniently, all of these items happen to be hanging out in the same corridor. From our cabin, we head downstairs to collect 1 Hyper Potion and 1 Super Potion. After eliminating Dylan the way he likes it, we steal his ether. Head next door and steal this sailor's only possession, TM44. Even though this is such a useful move, we're gonna pocket this item and take off before the sailor noticed we've been here. Rest in our cabin and head upstairs only to find burgers! Annihilate burgers for the 4th time. 10 to the sick Cap'n burgers ignored. As we then pass out on board and lose $960. Man, I'd be pissed if I could use that money to buy potions somewhere. After another very expensive ambulance ride to the Poke Center, I'll need to take 5 and look for a Spearow. A girl living in Vermilion wants a Spearow and offers a Farfetch'd for our troubles. Eventually, a bird is going to help immensely once we acquire the ability to fly. We also want to get this little guy so he can learn Cut, something Spearow cannot do. Cut is required to access the 3rd gym and the game's most awesome puzzle ever conceived. I mean, there ain't nothing like this one here. Check garbage cans for a switch, and then you'll need to find a 2nd switch. But if you don't select the correct can, find the 1st switch again. Like, how does anyone not enjoy this gym? It's magical! Oh, look, this gym isn't so bad. Find the 1st switch, and then the 2nd is always adjacent to the 1st. Allowing Sauerkraut here to indulge in his vampiric ways earns the Thunder Badge. The time has come to backtrack up to Cerulean City and travel east. Making it to the first trainer of Route 9, the team is hurtin'. Fortunate that this is the longest walk of the area, being just short of 100 steps. Once we make it to Alicia here, a quick synthesis and rest fix this dilemma. You really only need to have one Pokemon healing itself to travel, but with hikers creeping out here, it's worth having a little grass-type support. After all, hikers are appropriate as we approach Rock Tunnel. Rock Tunnel isn't a terrible place so much as it is annoying. For those unfamiliar with the tunnel, it's dark. We're supposed to have gotten the HM for Flash and Light the Path, but because I personally dislike Flash kind of a lot, I just refused. Even playing a pacifist run, I don't particularly want Flash. At 70 accuracy, when I'm already forced to dedicate my movesets toward healing, I'd rather just take my chances on feeling around in the dark. Exploring the darkness, I encountered 2 Pokemaniacs that could somehow see in the dark, but I cannot. And find a revive somewhere in the corner, I think. Bump into Martha before wandering further into the void and being questioned about my personal life. Ah, a fellow enthusiast. What happens in the dark stays in the dark, am I right? Alright, friend, take care. I gotta get out of here, man. Ooh, water. It's gross sounding. Take a ride at the trainer in the darkness and travel probably north to find Max Ether. He sounds like a pretty cool guy. Coming to the final stretch of pitch black. There are only a few trainers left to shut down before blinding ourselves with some harsh daylight. Lavender Town. Heal up and leave. We know the shop doesn't have any potions in stock, so I'd much rather focus solely on the trip to Celadon City. Arrive in Celadon, run behind the buildings and pick up one Eevee before healing once more and then rushing into the department store. We might not be able to buy potions, but this doesn't mean that we can't possibly acquire some beverages, right? Oh, why am I surprised by this revelation? Alright, well, at least I happen to be in the store. Stop in and grab a water stone and a leaf stone. Vileplume gets a bump to stats, but what's more enticing is getting Vaporeon. Vaporeon has one of the highest base stats for HP in all of FireRed. But this isn't the only reason Vaporeon is special. That TM for rest found earlier on, duct tape that disc to the forehead and now our Vapor Boy here knows how to take a nap. Now let's run out this way and collect the HM for Fly, a super handy move to have in the back pocket, as this way, if we become desperately low on health, a Poké Center is never really that far away. Oh yeah, and I suppose travel gets easier, that's kind of a nice perk too. Celadon has a lot of upgrades for this run. Now with the majority covered, it's time for the last one. The obstacle in front of us for our last upgrade? Erica. Crumple Erica's foliage and collect our 4th badge along with TM19, Giga Drain. The hard part now becomes who gets Giga Drain. Gyms are nothing to stress in such a challenge. The hard part are the dungeons. While Rock Tunnel and Mount Moon are lengthy, they do have spawns for easy healing in battle. That's great and all, but when we need to go somewhere without those easy wild encounters, I don't know, say maybe like underneath the game corner, things get a little more rough. Rocket nerds are scattered around, and with them, the opportunity for healing. The thing is, once a trainer's been defeated, they won't battle with you again. This forces our hand into making sure we get through the area in one shot. It's not the worst, but watching the step count is crucial. And let's not forget about the awesome loot hidden through the area. Eliminate the poster guard and head deep into the gambling catacombs. Running through the rocket hideout won't be too exhausting, but I do want to prioritize keeping 2 Pokemon up. Considering not only the trek through, but also the end goal of taking down Giovanni, health management is massive. On the bright side, by traveling with these arrow pads on the floor, no HP is lost, so at least there's that. Grab this rare candy before bumping into this guy and get some much needed healage going on. Down the stairs, snatch the Max Ether off this table before ignoring the TM for Snatch. This rocket feigns ignorance on the lift key before dropping it in front of me like a petty shoplifter getting busted. I'm gonna just take this. Lift key in hand, we navigate the second maze of arrows while making sure to go out of our way for this beautiful super potion. Pretty safe grabbing this since the pushy panels save our HP until the end of the maze. With the elevator in front of us, opt to take the stairs for this hyper potion hidden in the corner of the room. This concludes relevant looting with nothing but a pair of dudes in our way. Heal up while crushing them into the ground before the big boss man. Have a slugfest with Giovanni before he gets a lucky shot in. Take 2. Before dominating him and demanding he gives up the super scope. After 30 years, I can finally play Yoshi's Safari! Seriously, my dad bought this game for my birthday, and we never owned a super scope, so yeah. Spooky, scary Pokemon! Time to ascend Spooky Tower, but not before Burgers 5. Abuse rollout with 1 Wiggly Boy. and really make sure this burger is well done. There's a good handful of items, but I care about exactly 2, and they aren't tough to spot either. Trip over this elixir while dodging all the weird ladies. Discover a healing zone, which, oh my god! Look at this space! We step on this purified space to fully restore the team, giving us the glory that is possibly the greatest training spot in the game. Assuming, of course, you don't care about IV building, but that's not something we can see, so it's not even real, right? It's like paying your taxes. Dancing by the graves! Kick out the rockets and save 1 Mount Fuji. Receive the Fuji flute and book it directly to Big Sleeps. 1 jazz concert later, Snorlax gets caught in a mosh. Side note, turns out that by catching a Snorlax, you cannot find the leftovers item. And once again, I am left with the question of why I am surprised. I wonder if the dev considered removing rest and synthesis from the game as well. Dodging the motorcycle club, we can take our manual cycle and bomb the hill. This is the faster path of the 2 in order to make it into Fuchsia City. With grass patches and trainers along the way, we can stop and rest, provided there is no encounter with a rogue exploding wheezing. Or run out of HP outside of the Poké Center! Once safely in town, there are a few tasks at hand. Koga needs to be defeated for our 5th badge, but the more challenging chore is going through the Safari Zone. Deep in Safari is HM3 and a swanky set of gold teeth, and both are needed for progress. The true difficulty in this task comes from the fact that, while in the zone, players cannot use Pokemon to weaken wild Pokemon for catching. This also means that I cannot use Pokemon to spam the move Rest. Seeing as the Safari Zone is rather large, and the trails are winding, stressful times are on the horizon. But I have a plan! A strategy that I had employed during my stream within the Viridian Forest. Drop off all Mon except for the one with the highest max HP, and Chiding. So Cut and Fly are still in the toolbox. All my item needs, huh? You should stock potions. Sprint to the Safari Zone and begin the trek for treasures. This trip will require roughly 350 steps from the start to HM3. Now we have 2 options here. Potions can be used in order to pick up more steps, and with 184 max HP, a simple use of 1 Hyper Potion will cover the remaining steps needed. This isn't something I want to use, seeing as how potions are so sparse. This leaves me with option B. Catch a new Mon each time I need more HP for walking. The game provides 30 Safari Balls for each trip, so there's really only the risk of Pokemon cooperating as they jiggle and wiggle in my balls. Very fortunate that weaker Mons such as Doduo and Execute are easy to catch, thus providing more HP for footsteps. Little side note, if you happen to have a fishing rod, you can also stop in the water. I didn't have one on me at the time, so I don't have footage for that, but it is also a very useful tool to have in case you need to catch another guy for, even if it's just a Magikarp, you get like 19 more steps out of that. That's something. Collect HM3 for Surf and follow it with a tactical whiteout. Joke's on you, game, I don't even have that much money. Koga! I'm coming for you! Okay, well, Koga! Yeah, alright, move along, sir. Koga, prepare for defeat. Gym leaders are like the easiest part of this challenge, I swear. And now it's off for Saffron City, and the next big hurdle, Silphco. Silph is the 3rd area infested with rocket grunts and scientists. Navigating the building is a struggle as it has these warp panels all over that will send you to seemingly a random floor. Not many of these panels are required, though. In fact, we really only need to use 2. See, as expert on Pokemon travels, I know exactly where to go in this quote-unquote maze. The very first business to attend to is acquiring the card key on the 5th floor. Guarded by 1 rocket grunt, it's easily obtained by avoiding the rocket, or defeat his weak team. Keycard in hand, head to the 9th floor, teach one of the Rocket Brothers that I do not care about their dumb little faction, and find a place to rest. The glory that is a free bed! Take the elevator down to the 3rd floor and go through this warp, to be then ambushed by Burgers! Our 6th fight with Burgers yields no real threat, as his Pokemon don't faint from walking, a move that has ultimately made them weak and unable to withstand the ferocious power contained within 1 tasty taco salad. Pushing past this rocket grunt and using his team to heal up, we get into Giovanni's personal space and make sure he leaves promptly. Before leaving, we want to grab the president's special ball, but more importantly, notice the PC in the corner. This PC is tied to Bill's storage service, and we can actually use it. This is such a great tool to have in our corner. Let's say Giovanni was a real toughie and left your team weakened and ready to collapse. You simply log into billstorage.gov, drop some dudes, pick them up just as quick, and BAM! Now that's what I call a healthy looking crew. You could also just use an escape rope and fly to the center, but you know how it goes. To the gym! Breaking and entering into Sabrina's gym, there are 2 tasks to be completed here. 1, get to Sabrina, and defeating her. Vaporeon can hold up quite nicely against her team of yellow boys, and with the rest, I'm not too concerned. The trek through this particular gymnasium can be a long, arduous task since you'll have to take teleporter after porter after porterhouse in order to make it to this teenage witch. Simply walk up or down from each warp and there she be! Ooh, and not too injured. Take this stake back to the previous room, and for the love of Pete and Pete, take note of which corner you came from, because I sure didn't the first time I came here, and it was like dropping a fresh piece of buttered toast on the kitchen floor. And that's the worst, it always falls and lands face down. That's just physics 101. Kind of like when a cat falls and they always land on their feet. It's scientifically impossible for these to land any other way on the ground. Wait a minute, if I take toast and attach it to a cat... alright, wait a minute, oh, shit! Take advantage of Preston here to get some health back before going into the correct warpage and challenge the Mental Queen. Start the battle asleep for some much needed RNG manipulation, and totally not because I forgot to use an awakening or any ridiculous nonsense like that, before the commencement of decimation. She uses potions. Look at this silly girl. Once Sabrina has easily been taken down, we fly to Pallet Town, surf our way to Cinnabar Island, and really start to notice how the challenge really picks up speed once you hit, this point of the game. Set foot upon Cinnabar Island, be disappointed with the shop's contents, and head straight into the Pokemon Mansion. Once again, we have a pretty lax area. There are some bandits collecting loot, and a few random scientists. You can ignore pretty much all of them, but what makes the mansion easy is all the wild encounters to be had. You'll never have a reason to run out of HP, unless you just aren't paying any attention. Collecting our own loot, in the form of a full restore, very nice find. Make my way back around through this area for the secret key on, I guess, Solar Beam? Warped Tour! Time to best the 7th gym with, you guessed it, trivia! Bro, there are dozens upon dozens of badges now. Your quiz sucks, my man. Teach Blaine how to surf some gnarly waves before leaving and completely blowing off Bill. Like, thanks for the PC storage system and free heals and all that, but I absolutely do not want to go to Sevi Islands. This leaves exactly 1 gymnasium leader left to put into the figure 4 leg lock. Big Giovanni. Demonstrate to Big Vaney how surfing is more than just a lifestyle, and just as quick as we came in, we dominated and head straight for Indigo Plateau. God damn it, Burgers, what in the hell do you want? Burger 7 comes in hot with a team of 6 that will all know to fear what my taco salad is cooking. Alright, Burgers, see you at Thanksgiving. Surely I won't have to deal with him again. Victory Road! How fortunate that Victory Road happens to be just as easy as Rock Tunnel or the Pokemon Mansion. Just make sure you don't forget to trade the gold teeth for HM4 strength, like someone I know. Spoilers, it was me. With plenty of spawns and trainers galore, this will be our last location to keep an eye on current HP levels before facing off against the top tier. The truly titanic of trainers, towering terrors that triumph over tiny trainers, just trying to make a name for themselves. JK, this part actually isn't terrible. Victory Road is a series of boulder pushing to unlock the way while obliterating any trainers that choose to stand in my way. Traipsing our way out onto Route 23, the air is intense. I feel the electricity in my veins as I make these last few steps. The final hurdle before greatness, becoming one of the legends. Lorelei gave me quite a struggle. The battle begins decent enough with foes like Dugong and Slowbro succumbing easily to bite, but quickly came to a screeching halt when Jinx made an appearance. Taco Salad here becoming infatuated with its foe made it especially difficult to strike, including being put to sleep repeatedly, didn't help in the slightest. Following Jinx is of course the big tanky siren of the seas, Lapras. A personal favorite of mine. I mean, I am very keen on what this adversary has to offer in ways of challenge. Quick aside, I swear that there were times when fighting Lorelei's Cloyster, it used Protect multiple turns in a row, but that can't be. I must have been imagining. The big buff Bruno follows Lorelei, and with him comes both Hitmonchan and Hitmonlee, a rather large Machamp and a pair of Onix. Buff Brune here was far less of a brawl as there was nowhere near as much confusion, sleep, or infatuation going on. Surf on into victory with ease, even if Taco Salad isn't looking the absolute best right now. Agatha's spooky crew is nothing to scoff at. Arbok gets soaked with the surf and Golbat freezes to the Aurora Beam while Haunter and her pair of Gengars fall easily to some playful biting. Unfortunate for Agatha, but Vaporboy here quite easily has moves to deal with each of these opponents. Doesn't mean a ton when Poison takes him down. But wait, on the horizon, a hero for us all, the mighty Chading. Chading used Revive, and after exhausting every bit of bird energy in this mission, falls into a hearty sleep before taking a warrior's death. A noble sacrifice allowing victory to come our way. There you go, little putty. You've earned it, and we certainly can't finish this journey without you. Okay, good. I'd be one salty salamander if they took my HP on this walk. Lance here is supposed to be the guy, the big man on campus, and yet my man Vapors absolutely slays each one of these Dragonairs, scoffs at his Gyarados, and surfs all over Aerodactyl like a professional, dropping in, smacking the lip, followed by educating Dragonite about how the Ice Age felt. Sorry, Lance, but you're supposed to be the top guy? The top banana? Well, I guess I'll just take my rightful place as champion. Except surprise burgers! The 8th and final encounter of burgers is no easy task. Freezing his Pidgeot, chomping down on his Exeggutor and Alakazam. Those black glasses really help with that dark type damage, I'm telling you. Surf through a quad-weak Rhydon, and funny enough, Surf was my best offense against the burgers Gyarados as well, leaving one final obstacle in my path. A lone Charizard. A successful Fire Blast from Charmy before surfing through his existence and ultimately making this one soggy burger that no one can enjoy. Toss that soggy burg, and with that, I'm gonna head out and go get myself a fresh, celebratory burger. An incredibly tiring and aggravating challenge this was in that right off the bat, immediately we can almost just barely make it out of Pallet Town and onto Route 1. The amount of times I had whited out, long past when I had 0 Poké-Dollary dues, made me question the possibility of such a task. 12 hours or so of grinding enough experience for them big HP gains, and we were off for glory! Braving Viridian Forest was its own puzzle due to its length, and there was no way Leech Seed was gonna generate enough health, even against the Metapods that couldn't deal any damage. The few potions found along the way were so incredibly vital, and the fact that once they were found and used, that's it. Dead run. I have to also take a second to say to the dev, Viperio, you removing potions from shops, absolutely brutal, my friend. The number of times I had people ask why I didn't stock up was astounding. No shop, any shop, in any town, had any potions for sale. Not a one. Getting to the top of Celadon's multi-floor market was no different. The vending machines were down for maintenance, because of course they were! Fortunately, with all the grinding to build up enough HP for travels, gym leaders were nothing. Bulbasaur learns Razor Leaf rather early, making Brock and Misty a breeze. By the time I made it to any other gyms, Wigglytuff and Vaporeon were accessible, and with each of these two having ridiculously high base stats for HP, and great moves available on both, defeating each gym became really more of a formality. When venturing into Rock Tunnel or even Victory Road, rest makes these kinds of terrain a breeze. This simultaneously made the trek through areas like the Game Corner and Silphco far more dangerous due to the lack of wild Pokemon. This forced me to focus on using rest in trainer battles and really applying that pressure to beat these locations in one fell swoop. The Safari Zone was probably the most strenuous of all areas simply due to the lack of opportunities to use rest. But I have to say, that with each of these hurdles in mind, absolutely, without a doubt, the hardest part of this challenge was delivering Oak's package. A massive thank you to everybody who's made it this far into the video of my silly Pokemon escapades, and especially to Viperio19 for making this ROM hack. Hit me up in the comments down below and let me know what you thought of the run. I especially want to thank all of my supporters over on Twitch who helped me get through these things and enjoy watching my suffering as I bash my head into brick wall repeatedly. Speaking of, if you'd like to join us over on Twitch and watch the shenanigans live as they happen, you can find me here, Eric's, where I like to tackle silly challenges. By the way, this isn't my first video. Check out this one I made, Paper Mario on Nintendo 64. Did you know you can beat that game without using a hammer attack or a jump attack? I had no idea. Go check that out, it's a great time. Now if you excuse me, I'm gonna eat this burger and just kinda hang out right here for a minute. Oh sick, is that bacon on there?